I think we're ready to get started. You might be a familiar face to some, but if not, my name is Oscar Portillo. Just 5 years ago, I was one of you, sitting in that chair deciding on where to go to college and what path I would chart for my education. Today, I'm a proud graduate of the University of South Florida. I just graduated last week, which is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I went on to study history, politics, and the economy at the University of South Florida. It was an amazing journey and one that could have only happened through the work and the amazing effort that Unidos Now puts into the lives of its students. I know this is a very special evening for all of you. I'm so excited to hear your stories, what Unidos means to you, and what you're deciding to do next in your career and in your life and in the educational pursuits that you're going to take on. With that said, I'm very excited to introduce my friend and someone who is very special to the work that Unidos does and a key component of all of this. Cynthia, if you can come up.
Thank you, Oscar. It's always such a pleasure to have you with us. As Oscar mentioned, I'm Cynthia Ellenstar, Associate Executive Director at Unidos Now, and I'm very happy to be here today and so excited to see all of these beautiful faces, our students, the families, mentors, other supporters, donors. Thank you for being here. I'm going to talk about two words, evolve and innovate. These words are at the core of what we do at Unidos Now. We constantly analyze the student outcomes and ask for feedback from the students, their families, college coaches, mentors, and other key stakeholders to better inform our decisions. When looking at the Future Leaders Academy, it's clear how we constantly evolve and innovate. For example, the COVID-19 pandemic made us realize that we could have a highly effective program and run it online. And in doing so, we realized that we could open the doors to students who perhaps due to transportation issues could not come to the workshop in person. And now they're part of this life-changing program. This past year, we incorporated college coaches to the program. And we have some of them here today. They're young and talented college students or graduates who have been in the Future Leaders Academy. They have received plenty of training from us. And as first-generation low-income students, they understand firsthand the challenges that our students face. During the last 12 months, with the support of the Unidos Now team, our Future Leaders Academy Baranski scholars have learned about different post-secondary paths, how to create their college and career plan, how to develop their personal brand to stand out in their college applications. And they also received ACT and SAT prep and had the opportunity to explore a wide array of careers through a combination of career exploration sessions, career panels, and small group meetings with professionals in different fields. But FLA is more than a college prep program. In FLA, students learn to believe in themselves. They develop their leadership skills and discover their true potential. With the invaluable support of their mentors, our students dream big and reach high. As we all know, to fulfill their dreams of post-secondary education, applying for scholarships and other types of financial aid is essential. And I'm excited to announce that this year, together, the FLA seniors have received over $5 million in financial aid, and this does not count loans. Congratulations, FLA scholars, you did it. And in closing, if there's something that I would like you to remember out of the many things that we shared with you over this past year, and you will agree we provided you with a lot of information, is this. I would like you to remember that the power is within you. So thank you, and please join me in welcoming this amazing class of 2022 of Future Leaders Academy Baranski Scholars. Our first scholar is Joshua Sehebre. Joshua is in Germany completing an exchange program, so he recorded a video to share with us.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Joshua Sehebre. I'm a senior at Northport High School in the ACE program. Unfortunately, I can't physically be here with you today, but I'm spiritually here. My story starts over a decade ago. I was young and captivated by the world around me. Coming from Colombia, I learned the importance of collectivist values, a term with a wrongfully negative stigma behind it. This value goes beyond fostering success in a group setting. For me, it's looking after my family on Noche Buena and building community. Yet, growing up in the United States taught me about the concept of individualism. An early experience of this was my parents telling me to work hard in school to achieve whatever career I wanted. I enjoyed the idea of being able to rely on myself and learn any skill that can be applied to everyday life without the need of someone else. I'm not the person I am today without these two values. It was until about 2 years ago that I truly benefited from learning about individualism and collectivism. I had the pleasure of joining the Future Leaders Academy. I, at the time, knew I wanted to pursue my dreams. While my intentions were there, I was lost, unaware of the countless opportunities waiting for me. Throughout countless of workshops and self-growth, I started to see progress I'd never seen before. I'm no longer limited to what I had thought I could do. I can transgress beyond the limits of Florida, beyond the community I know. Today marks an important day in my life. One of my many dreams have become a reality. I'm proud to say that after nights of hard work, I will be attending McAllister College in Minneapolis in St. Paul. I am beyond excited to continue pursuing my education and be a leader in my community. While I wish the English language had another word besides thank you to express extreme gratitude, I am beyond thankful for the effort that each member of the Unidos Now team has set forth. You believed in me until I started to believe myself. I also want to thank the Baranski Foundation for making it possible for people like me to not just dream big, but do big, and for upholding the Unidos Now values to educate, elevate, and integrate. To my parents, thank you for never giving up on me and supporting my goals. I will never forget those moments on Saturday mornings being awoken to the sounds of Colombian singer Joy Arroyo while enjoying a cup of coffee. That kept me true to my roots and curious of the world. To my mentors, thank you for guiding me through each step of this long journey. You're not just a mentor, but a deeply regarded friend of mine. Ahora que entro una nueva etapa de mi vida, les pido a ustedes muchísimas gracias por no solamente el apoyo, sino también por creer en mí. I hope to one day be able to reciprocate these acts of kindness back to the communities that supported me. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elisa Jelesnak, and I'm a senior in the ACE program at Sarasota High School. I was given the opportunity to join the Unidos Now team at the end of my junior year, beginning of senior year. And throughout my entire time with the program, I received consistent encouragement and support from my mentor and college coach, as well as all of the students I worked with. During my college application process, there was always someone to turn to for assistance and help, and it helped me get through all of my times of confusion. I'm extremely grateful to the Baranski Foundation for believing in students like me and assisting me in achieving my goal to attend Florida State University. Lastly, I'd like to express my gratitude to my parents and for the sacrifices they made to provide me and my siblings with a better future. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jordania Antonio, and I'm a senior at Lakewood Ranch High School. I used to spend countless hours trying to keep each cloud a shape. I would ask myself, ¿a qué se parece esta nube? Wondering about the shapes of the cloud, my answer would always be the same. Puede ser lo que tú quieras. It can be anything you want. And it is the truth. Each cloud has a story to tell. As I sit on my bed in the third house that we moved into Guatemala, reading a book for school, suddenly my aunt comes in and asks, ¿Quieres ir a la tienda? I think about it and answer, sí quiero. Walking down the street, I look up and see the stars shining ever so softly, twinkling and giving the black night sky a little color. At a distance, we see the store, dark blue walls with the white and the Pepsi logo to the left side. There my Uncle Romeo stands, his hair sticking out in every direction, his brown hair shining under the light of the store. Seeing him, I am reminded of that one time when the sky was filled with clouds and the light of the midday sun reflected onto them. I stand in front of my school with tears running down my face, with the arms of my mother around me, whispering soft words to my ear, trying to calm down the sobs that escaped through my lips. When I see him walking down the street, looking right in our direction, his words of reassurance and his promise to defend me engraved in my mind. Now walking down the street with clouds surrounding the sky, I realize life is too short to take it for advantage, and the question lingered. Am I doing everything that I can to live without regrets? Am I able to give my future the shape that I want? And for me, the answer was always no. But now, after being part of the LRHS, Unidos Now Club, and FLA Scholar for 2021-2022, I can say that yes, I have done everything that I can to give my life a shape. I have decided to attend the State College of Florida and get my bachelor's degree in early childhood education. While it was not easy, I can probably say that I made it. I would like to thank the Unidos Now team for never giving up on me, for going beyond to help me achieve my dreams of going to college. I would also like to thank the Baranski Foundation for their generous support. And finally, I would also like to thank my parents and sister for supporting me, for staying up with me those days where homework seemed endless, but most of all, for loving me and taking care of me, for cheering me up when I wanted to give up. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Rosana Villa, and I am a senior at Southeast High School. On December 8, 2003, two children were set to be born. Complications arose, and their mother had to be taken in for an emergency C-section. One breathed life, the other did not. My cries filled the room as the nurses laid me on my mother's warm chest. I calmed down and let out a small sigh and a small grin on my face. In that small clip of a moment, I had no idea the heartache, anger, laughter, and joy I would experience. All I knew was the warmth of my mother's chest and the calmness of my mother's voice, the perfect moment. From being my brother's protector when things went wrong, to having to become my family's caregiver for my nieces and nephews, to volunteering at my local daycare after school and tutoring children from elementary and middle school on STEM topics, from learning valuable lessons as the president of the Unidos Now team at my high school and a love for science. It all led me to the spot I am standing in right now. Becoming a pediatric nurse is my way of healing the little girl in me who just needed a safe space. I have become so fascinated by pediatric nursing that nothing could replace it, knowing that I will one day care for children who have seen their parents fight and argue, or who have been taken out of their homes in the middle of the night with no place to stay. Or maybe the complete opposite, just the thought of being able to put a smile on their face, make them laugh, and give them the safe place that I tried to give my little brother, all those years ago. This is my reason for all of it. I want to take a moment and thank the Unidos Now family for all their support and believing in me way before I believed in myself. I would also like to thank the Baranski Foundation for supporting the Unidos Now's mission to help students like me and my fellow scholars. I have been accepted to 3 colleges and will be attending Florida Southern College in the fall in their direct entry BSN program.
Hello, my name is Sofia Cava, and I am a senior at Cardinal Mooney High School. The moment I opened the bright red front door to our house, the intense aroma from within overwhelmed me. Instantly, I recognized the smell of diced carrots and onions carefully simmering, sprinkled with turmeric and cumin. Without even asking, I knew we were having my favorite for dinner, lentils and rice. To an outsider, my beloved meal might seem unexciting, but to me, it is a constant reminder that I am not the average American girl. Much like the complex flavors my parents combined into a bowl of lentils and rice, the person I am today is the result of learning to coexist in two very intricate and dissimilar worlds. As I take a step back to look at my two worlds, a path forward emerges. A future where I can pursue a career as an immigration lawyer by applying the values I have learned to new environments. Not only will this allow me to continue pushing the boundaries of my own two worlds, but it will also help me open doors of opportunities for others. By taking advantage of the energetic academic environment my parents make available to me and the cultural values they work so hard to preserve, I can be my best, fullest, most realized self, a proud Peruvian American who knows and appreciates both where she came from and where she is headed. Last December, I received the Questbridge National College Match Scholarship to Duke University, and I will be attending in the fall. There are no words to describe how thankful I am for the entire Unidos Now family, all the staff members, my wonderful mentors, Christy and Carrie, and all my FLA colleagues. But most of all, I would like to thank the Baranski Foundation for making Future Leaders Academy possible. Thank you for helping us dream big and reach our fullest potentials.
Good evening. My name is Donna Jeanette, and I'm a senior at Riverview High School. I am very grateful to be a part of two cultures. Not only have I had the ability to experience life from more than one perspective, but I've also had the ability to interact in two very different environments. Even though I can now fully appreciate my heritage, that was not always the case. As a child, we all wanted to fit in, and I was not the exception. I didn't want to be special or different, but instead desperately wanted to find a group of people who, like me, related to things that I liked. Despite having Hispanic parents, I wasn't completely submerged in my parents' culture because all the experiences I would have had I been born in Colombia were now being replaced by American experiences. I even felt disconnected with my family back in Colombia, seeing as they used terms that I wasn't used to, and how I was constantly made fun of by my older cousins for having an Americanized accent. Since I was Hispanic because of where my parents were from, but also American based on where I was born, I found it a bit difficult to find my place. As I grew up, I would meet more and more kids my age who were also Hispanic, but who, like me, grew up in Spanish-speaking countries. Although this was a small difference between us, I would always feel out of place when they would talk about their lives growing up. It made me feel as if I was too American to be considered a real Hispanic, and at other times I felt too Hispanic to be a real American. The sense of displacement eventually led me to learn everything I could about my culture and where my parents came from. I started paying more attention to the songs my dad played at home, which he claimed reminded him of when he was younger, and also listened to the songs his own father played. I began watching games of the Colombian national soccer team and that of the local team, Junior de Barranquilla. Slowly, I dived deeper and deeper into my heritage, and eventually I fell in love with my country, even more so after my trips to Colombia during winter break. I loved how lively everyone was there and how the atmosphere seemed charged with energy that was completely different to the one I had seen growing up in the small town of Sarasota. On the other hand, I witnessed people living in poverty, small barefooted children who walked on the scorching pavement, their bodies nothing but bone. It wasn't until I saw the financial need of my own family in Colombia that I realized the value of my parents' sacrifice. It was because of this sacrifice that I was able to join organizations that were invested in my success, organizations like Unidos Now. Unidos Now has made a huge impact on my life, and I especially want to thank the Baranski Foundation, my mentor Neil, and the FLA team for guiding me throughout these last few months on my college journey and helping me get into my top choice college, the University of Florida.
Good evening. My name is Diana Lizama, and I'm a senior at Team Success. My story goes like this. A little girl is sitting crisscross, a book in her lap along with the blue, green, black, and red colors of the reading carpet. She is engrossed in her book, ignoring the fact that the other children are trying to distract her. She has only one goal, to understand what she is reading. She looks so determined, so concentrated. Now, if only she could understand what she was looking at. Ever since I was a little girl, I have always had a passion for reading, and my dream was to be able to read those thick books the smarter kids could read. But growing up, I did not have the resources required to read, which made my situation very ironic. I come from a Mexican background where my family had no money. I was the oldest of 4. Nobody could help me out, for I would be the first one in my family to learn how to speak English and everybody else spoke Spanish. No matter how much I asked for help, My parents could never make out the crazy alien words my books made up. I was on my own. The little girl who once dreamed about reading felt her world fall apart piece by piece. It didn't help that the school that I attended had very few minorities and they lacked the resources to teach children like me. For a while, it seemed impossible to achieve my dream. That was until I had a teacher who changed it all, Miss Kelly Reed. I had realized that she had noticed my want for learning how to read because for my Christmas present, she gave me a book, my very first chapter book. This showed me that others need to believe in us before we can believe in ourselves. Of course, their journey was not easy, but slowly but surely, I began to climb up and above most of my classmates over the years. Of course, I wanted others, especially children who were like me, to become better at reading. So in my freshman year, I made an impact at my charter school. I decided to make it a tutoring program dedicated to empowering students in first and second grade by developing reading skills to enhance their learning. Reading Buddies, the name I gave my project, really taught me lots of memorable lessons. I learned that reading is magical, that it was more than words, and it could transport you into a different time and place, making the world around you disappear in your imagination. And I could expand my love for reading to those who I tutored, helping them dream big in their imagination, expanding beyond the fantasies of their pages. Overall, I have learned that my love for reading can impact not only my life, but the life of others. My experience showed me that doors are open to unlimited possibilities. Through my work, I learned that I can guide others and teach them a new world that is different from our everyday life. When I look at a child and tutor them, I think back to the little girl who was determined to learn herself. I think back to how many nights and days she felt frustrated because she had no one to confide in when she felt challenged. Now I can proudly go back to her and always tell her to stay determined and that she will be able to tackle the obstacle monsters she had in her past and tell her to continue spreading her love for reading. I'd like to thank the Unidos Now team for pushing me to dream big, believing in me even before I believed in myself, and helping me reach my true potential. I'd also like to thank the Baranski Foundation for their generous support and for believing in students like me and my mentor Dawn for helping me out whenever I need it. Thanks to them, I'll be attending 2 years in SEF and will be moving on to Stetson. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nicole Yamas, and I'm a senior in the ACE program at Sarasota High. Walking on fire, a metaphor I use both figuratively and literally. Ever since I started walking, I would take the bus daily and walk miles in the blazing hot sun. Tears and sweat running down my face as I would yell at my mother, "Ya casi llegamos, are we almost there yet?" Without a car, I had to walk to and from my mother's work whenever I wasn't in school, and the Florida sun would make my brown skin even darker. The soles of my cheap shoes would often cause my feet to burn and blister. This was my routine as a child. I want to become the person who is always there for others, someone who will do everything in their power to support others who cannot support themselves. It is important for me to become the person I always wanted in my life as a child, to provide safety, comfort, direction, and a sense of community for all people. These life changes allowed me to appreciate the small things in life and appreciate life more fully. My experience as a child has made me more empathetic, and one day I made a promise to always remember and appreciate the people who have helped me throughout my life. My passion for helping others is something that will never change, and I hope to pass that on. My life struggles help me keep an open mind as well as have the mindset to keep pushing and never give up. I remain humble and blessed. God has helped me and my family overcome the highs and lows in my life. I'm excited to announce that I'll be attending New College of Florida in the fall, and I'd like to thank the Unidos Now team at Unidos Now for supporting me to dream big and believing in me before I believed in myself. I'd also like to thank the Baranski Foundation for supporting students like me and for my mentor Karen for always giving me guidance when I was clueless. Last but not least, I would also like to thank my parents for all the sacrifices they've made. I wouldn't be here without them.
Good afternoon. My name is Johnny Lopez, and I am a student at the State College of Florida Collegiate School. I want to start off by thanking the Baranski Foundation and everyone in the Unidos Now team who has supported me tremendously throughout this chapter in my new life. I also want to thank my mama with her sacrifices, she's allowed this to be possible. And while I may not necessarily understand what she may go through in this process, I know it will be difficult for her. So thank you for being willing to go through it. Prior to this school year, I was ill-equipped with the necessary resources, knowledge, and guidance to apply for college. As a first-generation student, this made my college application process intimidating. However, I sought out resources to try to help me, and I was eventually accepted into a program that aids students throughout this process. Unidos Now's Future Leader Academy has helped me gain insight into the college admissions process, as it paired me with a mentor who is extremely knowledgeable about the college application process. After meeting my mentor, this veil of intimidation soon fell off. Her guidance and knowledge changed me for the better, as she helped me realize that college was a true possibility for a student like me. Furthermore, her guidance made me realize that there was a problem that I wanted to develop the skills necessary to devote my career to solving. This problem revolves around the K-12 education system and the fact that our schools are not providing enough guidance and resources to provide adequate guidance for some in-need students. The Manatee County School District, my home school district, serves 50,882 students. With a higher than the national average student-to-counselor ratio, not every student is afforded the same opportunity to have someone guide them towards the next chapter in their lives, give assistance with their academic work, or provide attention to their mental needs. Having awareness is a problem, I provide time and energy to tutor students in my community and school. And what inspires me to do these things is to provide students and children something that I desperately lacked but needed, the support to start dreaming big. I expect to translate one day what I've learned from these experiences and from Unidos Now into a classroom and into education policymaking, where students and children, no matter what barriers try to separate or stop them, can feel free to develop a better understanding of the world and themselves. And I will be attending American University in Washington, D.C. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emily Rincon, and I'm a senior at Sarasota High School. I don't think she understands anyway, said a classmate after making a comment about me in front of the whole class. I do not remember his name, but I do remember his face, the way he looked, the way I felt. I do every time this happens. The strange looks on people's faces when I try to communicate. Some of them is sympathy, some are so cruel. I wonder if they do notice, remember, or even care like I do. Did you know that social anxiety disorder is actually very common and that there are more than 200,000 cases, US cases per year? For me, it's always been there. But it really awakened when I turned 14. The unsteadiness of change, a new place, country, language, new life at the hands of my teenage years. It felt as if I didn't have control over anything, not my thoughts, my words, my voice, my life. I never imagined, even though it sounds silly, that things like what language should I think in, or God, I really don't know my own language, would be thoughts that would cross my mind. So my shelter became silence, the comfort of being quiet. The problem with that is that there is too much space to think and not enough to breathe, a space filled with worries and millions of what ifs. I wanted more. I wanted to experience the steadiness of change. A new place, country, language, new life that I could understand and call mine. I want change. I want to feel in control, was what I told myself. I thought of what could make that happen, and I knew. The answer was language, understanding, communicating, and engaging with myself, others, and my surroundings. So reading and writing became my shelter. It made me feel in control of myself. It felt like I could master the English language and my own native language, Spanish. Another experience that has helped me shape who I am today is being an officer at the Unidos Now Club at my school. It has shown me that when you put in the effort and you work with the right people, things can change for good. The thought of going to college as a first-generation student gives me hope, makes me proud of the things I have yet to accomplish, and brings bittersweet tears to my eyes. I know I'm doing it for myself, but I'm also doing it for my roots. I've met so many people with whom I have shared my story, so I'm doing it for them too. I want them to know that we can do it too. I might become an extraordinary English teacher, just like the ones I've had in the past, especially my ESOL teachers. Shout out to them. I'm sorry. Them and their work is what I aspire to be. With that being said, I will attend the State College of Florida to pursue an English degree. I would like to thank the Unidos Now team for going above and beyond to help me achieve my dream of going to college. Also, I would like to thank the Baranski Foundation for the generous support and my mentor Marvick for always being there for me, even though she is not here today. Oh, you are? Oh my God. Thanks for being here. Last but not least, I would like to thank my parents who are here today. who have made many sacrifices to give me the opportunity of a better future. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Isidro Serrano, and I'm an A student at Palmetto High School. As my brother was about to embark on his own post-second journey many years ago, he uttered these words to me: "Take care of Mom Pa Lolo. See you soon." He was not only referring to my parents' well-being, but Joyeria Serrano, the family business. It was as if responsibility suddenly collapsed on my shoulders at his words. But with a sizable lump in my throat, I knew I had to step up and lead my parents to prosperity. Here, at the Pulga de la Raza, is where Joyeria Serrano calls home. Every Sunday at the crack of dawn, my family and I would set up shop at this flea market and cater toward the countless of people that walk by our stand every single day, or every single week. Only now, I would be the one getting involved in the jewelry business. Negotiating with customers, translating for my parents, and cleaning up around the stand were all aspects of my first week at the business, steering the ship known as Joyeria Serrano. However, it was not perfect, like at all. I remember being visibly nervous when negotiating with customers, as my voice cracked at every instance, and I remember losing a couple rings along the way. Sorry, Mom and Dad. I wasn't going to let these mistakes define me, however. I was determined to sharpen up in the business, and while it took some time, I eventually got the hang of it. Now, I proudly wake up every Sunday ready to support my parents in their business. But even though I've been able to help my parents' business for a couple years now, I never saw myself as a leader. That was until I was introduced to Unidos Now just 1 year ago. But in this 1 year, I unlocked my true potential as a leader through the Future Leaders Academy and being the president of Unidos Now at Palmetto High School. All this, plus my parents' nonstop encouragement, has led me to achieve my dream of a national ROTC scholarship and acceptance to the school I'll be attending, the University of Central Florida. I would like to thank my Baranski Scholar Foundation for the continuous belief in me and my fellow FLA scholars and my mentor, Don Oldman. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Laura Martinez. I'm a senior in the IB program at Riverview High School. As a 10-year-old Colombian girl whose mother had chosen to live in the US, I saw no escape from constantly feeling hatred for myself. I was living, but like the mango tree in our new backyard, I was unable to grow and even almost failed 4th grade. In 5th grade, I won Student of the Month and received a citizenship award signed by President Obama. But thoughts circled my mind. I was incredibly unfair to myself, but began being kinder by listening to song lyrics such as Creo en mí by Natalia Jimenez. I pretended to be a Dancing with the Stars professional in my bedroom at night. I cared for the tree, its green leaves shining when the sun reflected off them. Summers, I joined my mom at her job, where the work was demanding, but her optimism was contagious. Today, I come outside and talk to the mango tree about our journey. Mine has included periods of self-loathing, but mostly, maybe out of necessity, self-love. I pick up a mango from the ground and intertwined with its sweetness, I taste victory. I watch a captivating sunset. A mango tree will eventually give fruits, and so will I. So thank you to the Baranski Foundation for making the FLA program a reality. The FLA program provided me with immense resources that helped me discover my path. Thank you to my Unidos Now family, my mentor, Sara, and college coach for guiding me. FLA prepared me for important interviews, and after I conducted a specific one, I was awarded the Gusson Endowed Scholarship. This scholarship covers all costs, including plane rides to attend Duquesne University in the fall, where I will be double majoring in international relations and political science. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Isveidi Moreno. I'm a senior at Lakewood Ranch High School. As a first-generation student moving to this country 9 years ago, memories of my past were rare treasures. I moved into a whole new world, bringing over only necessities, so something as simple as finding the only pictures from my past brought an overwhelming feeling of nostalgia to me. With every picture filled with colors, culture, and family, I could hear the music coming from the streets outside of my house in Mexico, feel the rhythm of folklore dances taking over my body, and feel the immense love and cultural pride I have for my culture. I was around 6 when I discovered my passion for expression through colors. I remember asking my mom to buy me coloring books and pencils as I felt I could use colors to express human emotions. Despite being black and white, every coloring page book had a story waiting for me to create through the colors I chose. Coming from a Latino culture, storytelling through art and personal stories were something I grew up with and carry with me to this day. I decided to attend New College of Florida to become an exhibition designer, although I also got accepted into Florida Atlantic University and the State College of Florida. I would like to thank the Unidos Now family for empowering me to dream big and reach my full potential, my mentors and my college coach for helping me and advising me, and the Baranski Foundation for supporting students like me. Lastly, I'd also like to thank my parents who worked hard to give me and my brothers a good education and for always giving me their love and support. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Cristal Borges, graduating A student from Sarasota High School. I will start by reading you a piece of me. More than 365 days passed this time. At age 15, I returned to the airport, left the Hello Kitty bags for a pair of ripped jeans. This time, I did not hold Mommy's hand. I approached the phone charging station when I heard a comment that did not provoke a good feeling in me. I heard, "These Mexicans should not work, I can't even understand." Without overthinking, like when I was 13, I started walking towards the woman who spoke these words. Of course, this was an impulse. I lamented that an actual person from this heritage did not hear this lady so they could have a voice, so I was going to be that voice. I attempted to educate her, but a short moment after I realized, regardless of how much courage we possess to speak up, we can't truly change years of worth of mindset in 15 minutes. Frustrated but hopeful, I walked away. An hour passed by, and it was time to board the plane. As we moved upward into the night sky, I realized that I had just become another step in this woman's staircase to understanding. For once in a very long time, I felt purpose and direction. I felt complete. It takes more than a grain of sand to build a winning sand castle, as it takes more than one person to build a society where diversity is embraced. Every time I cross those airport doors, a new person is coming in and out with each experience. Going back to my home country taught me more about myself than I expected. These trips placed me in scenarios outside of my daily bubble in either home, which helped me realize my character. I am an empathetic person. Affecting people's lives is not exhausting, it's gratifying. I am determined to advocate for the unheard, to embrace diversity. The story of my life is founded on these values. I feel people. I am them, and they are me, and that is how I choose to live. Born in Japan, raised in Peru, and now here, a few months away from my future starting line. I was raised to believe education can transform lives and grew to experience it myself. Now going to the University of Central Florida, the plan is to major in political sciences and attend law school after. I would like to thank the whole FLA team for helping me reach my goal, my college coach for being consistent with me to keep me on track when I needed it the most, and thank you to the Baranski Foundation for making this program possible. Gracias a mi familia, porque todo ello soy yo también. Lastly, I firmly believe our impact in other people's lives is what builds our integrity, and all of the Unidos Now family have impacted my life, for which I will forever be thankful. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dulce America Rios Cardona, and I am a senior in Lakewood Ranch High School. I am dual enrolled with SCF and have been the president of the Unidos Now Club for the past 2 years. I am also a steer exhibitor and have completed 4 years of beef entrepreneurial projects with Future Farmers of America. I woke to a cold morning as my steer was waiting for his daily 5 a.m. feeding. I had the stars and my flashlight for light as my barn had no accessible power. Every day, I was feeding him twice, providing clean water and cleaning his stall. As time went by, I could see my efforts through him. The way he walked at a steady pace, stayed still while standing, and listened to my words. We both worked hard to make it into the county fair. Show season arrived, and my steer qualified for the county fair through Future Farmers of America. It was my first time as a participant in the fair, and as I entered the arena, I realized that I was the only Hispanic female exhibitor. Suddenly, I felt like all the attention was directed on me because I was the only Latinx student there. I felt like giving up. But of course, I couldn't give up despite questioning if I had the courage to continue. As I walked into the arena on show day with a 1,300-pound animal by my side, I took steps to what would be a change for my future. Suddenly, my steer went wild. He kicked, rammed, and pushed me throughout the arena. I understood why. Like me, he wasn't familiar with the new environment. We were both going through the same uncomfortable experience, but for different reasons. I explored the pain of knowing that he did not perform well and the pain of being the only Hispanic exhibitor with all eyes on me. I still battled the idea that I didn't belong here. Later, I asked myself, why was I so scared to show? I knew the answer to the question, but I shouldn't have been afraid to exhibit because of my skin color. However, I gained confidence in learning how to love myself. I realized that my lack of confidence in the show ring also affected my steer's actions and blocked the strength and courage inside me. However, that did not stop me. 2 months went by, then my journey began again. I awakened to another 500-pound calf that was waiting to be fed and then shown 10 months later. This time, I felt like I belonged. With the steer in my right hand and the show stick in the other, I walked across the arena as the only Latina with confidence, self-love, courage, and love for my culture. This year, I have been accepted into Florida Southern College, Eggard College, University of South Florida, Oberlin College, and the State College of Florida. I have decided to attend the State College of Florida and attain my associate's degree, and then transfer to a 4-year university. I would like to thank Unidos Now, my mentor Donna Beck-Smith, my college coach, and my family for all their support and guidance. I would also like to thank the Baranski Foundation for helping me reach my true potential and making this program possible. Thank you.
Even those that are occupied with obstacles or challenges in their careers can still find ways to integrate success into their lives. Hello, my name is Gennaro Rodriguez, and I'm a graduating senior at Team Success. My parents immigrated to the U.S. to provide a better opportunity for my family. As the oldest of 5 children, I hold the responsibility to be the centerstone and stability for my family, helping wherever and whenever I am able to. Growing up, my family was fortunate enough to come across new technology, such as computers and cell phones, sparking my interest in computer science. All was well, and I couldn't ask for anything more, but as Newton's third law of motion states, what goes up must come down. When I reached middle school, I began to lose interest in things I enjoyed most and had an overall decline in my education career. However, a meeting with the principal helped to change that direction completely. The principal knew of the scholarship and potential I had. This was the moment I was destined to make a change, and began to set goals and aspirations that I continue to work on till this day. The first goal I had set was to push my academics up. When it came time for quarterly reports, I had improved in all my classes, and the class I had struggled with the most progressed from an F to a B. Entering high school, I began looking into community service as well as other opportunities to improve myself. In 10th grade, I was introduced to Unidos Now, a program devoted to helping first-generation low-income Latino students achieve their dreams through education and empowerment. I was instantly drawn in by the dedication to raising the standard for education, and in my senior year, I became president of the club, helping other students in reaching their goals. Simultaneously, I was introduced to the Future Leaders Academy, a program dedicated to college readiness and success. Paired with 2 mentors, a software business veteran, and a college sophomore, I was more than prepared to make plans for college and began applying to institutions such as State College of Florida, University of South Florida, and Rollins College. My goal now is to graduate college with a degree in computer science and kickstart my cybersecurity expertise. The institutions that I have applied to provide great computer science programs and will help me achieve my goals and aspirations of creating a more secure network for the future generations to come. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for the amazing FLA team, the Unidos Now family, my mentor, Mr. Louis Franco, for always supporting me in my decisions throughout my high school journey, and a big thank you to the Baranski Foundation for making FLA possible through their kindness and generosity. And finally, to all my fellow FLA alumni, no matter the struggles, the lengths, or the depths we must travel, I know you will all make it to those dreams that you aspire. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Senji Sabak, and I'm an ACE senior at Booker High School and the president of the Unidos Now Club. I've been in the club since sophomore year, and I've gained more confidence in speaking and develop leadership skills through delivering presentations and helping students. Back in Hungary, I was an intelligent, enthusiastic little girl with a great childhood, and my parents made sure of that. We looked like the perfect family from the outside, but we had a huge burden on our backs. We were dealing with overwhelming financial problems, forcing my father to work abroad in America. I learned to be responsible at an early age since my mother, younger brother, and I had to look after each other. After years of stressful thinking, my parents have decided to take a huge step towards change and live a better and safer life. We packed our whole life in a single suitcase and left everyone and everything behind. We entered this new world full of excitement and hope for a better future, marking the beginning of our new lives. I felt like crying once I entered the school on the first day, not knowing or understanding anything, and it took me a long time to adapt. Being unable to communicate with anyone caused me to gradually isolate myself. I switched schools every year up until high school because of moving and never had the chance to make lasting friendships. Throughout the years, all these hurdles I've encountered as a foreigner shaped me into a mature, hardworking, intelligent, yet reserved person. The sudden change of life was the source of the development of my anxiety, but today it's a part of my personality. Anxiety is usually something that forbids people to succeed, but I have learned to use it to my advantage. It helped me to find my key to success. Anxiety gives me the power to master anything to the max of my ability. During my high school years, I got more involved with my education, social life, and community. College seemed like an unreachable dream, but as time progressed, I became self-aware and developed the goal to pursue a higher education in college as a dreamer. I got accepted to 8 Florida colleges, including New College, which I wish to go to. Because of my hard work, dedication, and determination to succeed, I can accomplish anything I set my mind to. I want to thank the Unidos Now team, my mentor Susan, and my parents for supporting me and believing in me in every possible way and helping me achieve my dream to go to college. I would also like to thank the Baranski Foundation for their support in making the program possible. I went through hurdles and challenges to come this far, and I'm excited to start the new chapter of my life.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Denny Liu. I'll be graduating from the AP Capstone Diploma Program at Manatee High School. As I am about to conclude my high school journey, I'm even more excited to announce the start of a new chapter in my life and my family's life. Coming from a first-generation household, I was raised with values that reinforce family, respect, and kindness. You're all grown up now is a compliment that I've heard frequently from customers as I've taken their orders over the years. I was raised in my family's restaurant, and my entire life played out, unbeknownst to me, for the whole world, at least my whole world, to see every day. Most of the major lessons I've learned in life were taught within those walls, where I not only learned about others, but found myself. As a 5-year-old, I loved working at the restaurant. Barely able to see over the front counter, I swiped credit cards and handed out change. Over the years, I watched both my parents and family transform from struggling restaurateurs to successful small business owners. Their perseverance and overall accomplishments highlighted for me, in equal measure, their hard work and desire to better themselves in any way they could. I knew this would be my path as well. I learned to solve problems and deal with conflicts that inevitably arose when patrons didn't get what they wanted. I learned to think through, prepare in advance, and anticipate others' needs. Sharing my life at the restaurant, witnessing other stories, and experiencing my own truly reaffirmed for me the importance of both family and community and my need to serve. Ultimately, my goal is to view and practice medicine through the lens of my years of restaurant service. recognizing the diversity and humanity of every individual I will help. I desire to be a leader in the field of cardiothoracic surgery, working to heal all communities and providing an open door to anyone in need, thereby uplifting our world and providing an equal opportunity for exceptional care. As I am here before you today, I can confidently say I've dreamed big. Today, I'm excited to announce that I've received acceptances to all of my top choice schools, including the University of South Florida, the University of Central Florida, the University of Florida Honors Program, and Harvard University, where I've committed. I'm incredibly thankful to the Unidos Now Future Leaders Academy for inspiring me to define my future and understand that I have a role to make my community a better place. Thank you to my Unidos Now mentor, Dr. Ginger Ship, for being a champion. I also want to thank the Baranski Foundation for their generosity and their entire team at Unidos Now for believing in students like me. With all their support, I will embark on this new chapter of my life feeling empowered and grateful. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Denny Liu, and I'm an IB senior from Southeast High School. And tonight, I want to share one of the most important experiences of my life, and that is working as a camp counselor in Camp Vallenada. And for me, having confidence in my hard work is key for success. I'm confident when I put full effort towards achieving my goals. This has not always been the case. Since a few years back, I doubted my ability. I will avoid things like speaking up in front of a class, telling people my opinion, or being the first one to step up. The pressure of being judged because of failure has always stopped me from achieving things that I wanted. This was mostly visible in the first job in Camp Vallenada as a 17-year-old counselor. My camp counselor opened my eyes as a new way to approach work and life. They were spontaneous, skillful, social, but most importantly, they had confidence in themselves. On the other hand, I was more worried about what if rather than focusing on taking the opportunities that were presented at the moment. From a point of view, the other counselors were superior. They were skilled enough to obtain whatever they set their sights on. I wanted to be like them, but I would drown myself in thoughts of insecurity every time I attempted it. In the end, I thought I had not left a mark since I was always the guy in the back. This was until I was packing my things and one of the campers, his name Christian, approached me. He was a camper who I had the opportunity to have a close relationship with, like an older brother. We shared familiar backgrounds and that allowed us to form a strong bond. Thank you for everything, Daniel. You helped me a lot. Christian hugged me as he was crying on my shoulder. I placed my palm on the back of his head, holding my tears, and I told him, "Anytime, Christian, you also helped me." His actions opened my eyes. I have found someone I was able to help, and that encouraged me to keep moving forward. I knew that I had to push myself. I had to overcome those insecurities that haunted me and build enough confidence in myself to face future challenges. I put myself into situations which I would not have been able to do before. I took leadership roles such as the Unidos Now Club president in the Southeast High School. And in this position, I had to get out of my comfort zone to have confidence in myself because there were others that would rely on me. Now that I have told this story, I personally want to thank the Baranski Foundation for their support and making Unidos Now possible. The Unidos Now team have guided me through all the challenges regarding college applications. They have prepared me to have confidence in myself to face future challenges.
Good evening. My name is Griselda Venegas, and I am a senior graduating from Manti School for the Arts. At the age of 6, learning English became a necessity to me. My sister was born with Down syndrome, a common birth defect. My parents, being immigrants unfamiliar with English, had no one to help translate for them. I became their hope. Although I was born in the U.S., my primary language was Spanish. Therefore, the first time I got to experience English was in classrooms and hospitals. In elementary school, I was put into ESOL to increase my vocabulary and learn at a slower pace than my peers. The issue arose when my mom needed help making appointments, and it would take hours for a Spanish translator to become available. So I was inspired to learn, practice, and become familiar with the English language. By the time I was in middle school, I was taken to the hospital to translate. On our way there, I would ask my mom what I needed to say, making sure I practiced my translation in my head, switching between languages, and pulling up Google Translate just in case. As my sister's situation improved, my involvement in the role decreased but not ended. English and the basic forms of communication are now a common background instinct for me that have shaped me into the person I am today. I want to thank Unidos Now for being a part of my growth process and inspiring me to be resilient and persistent throughout the year, for giving me the opportunity to become a leader among my school club devoted to empowering and encouraging students to follow their dreams of going to college. As I follow my own dream, I want to thank the Future Leaders Academy team and my mentor Sonia for helping and supporting me through the college admission process, leading to my success of getting accepted into 10 Florida colleges. I also want to thank the Baranski Foundation for making this program possible. Myself and others are able to continue on our own education and succeed in our own paths. Lastly, I would like to thank my parents for their years of hard work and sacrifice to support me in my education. I'm proud to share that I will be going to USF in the summer, pursuing the major of psychology. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Oscar Cruz Salas. I'm currently enrolled at Bayshore High School while doing full-time dual enrollment here at CF. To know me is to know Jacala, a small town in the central hills of Mexico. I lived the first 11 years of my life in Jacala, and it will always be home to me. I still have wonderful memories of spending Sundays at the plaza, where the town came together to worship, to shop for food and clothing, and to celebrate the music and dance of the region. And Jacala is where I developed my competitive spirit by playing soccer every chance I could. What truly stands out about the people in Jacala is their pride. Their pride in putting in a good day's work, their pride in their country, and their pride in educating their children. My parents lived by the values of the town and raised me to do the same. They were particularly passionate about education. I get the chills when I think about all the special moments in my educational journey and the pride I took in excelling at school, and the pride in my parents' eyes each time I reached a milestone. My parents did not have a formal education, but understood the importance of being educated and how limited the opportunities were in Jacala. That is why they decided to give up everything: their family, their friends, their jobs, their home, to move to the United States so that I could realize my potential. When I arrived in Florida, I experienced culture shock. My beloved plaza was replaced by endless strip malls and large shopping malls where nothing seemed affordable. Having limited transportation made it difficult to meet and make friends. Having limited transportation made it difficult to meet people and make friends, and speaking no English made it impossible to feel at home. School became my safe haven and where I found my identity. I've never been staying at school ever since arriving to the United States, and I refused to use my lack of English for not getting good grades when I arrived. I became fluent within 6 months. I quickly moved to the top of my class and even received an A in high school algebra while still in middle school. I then took the most challenging classes available to me at my high school, and I'm very proud of my number 3 ranking. All my senior classes are college level, and my goal is to graduate as the number 1 ranking in my school. Recently, while working with my dad, it was heartbreaking, as I understood that my parents struggled so much so that I could break the cycle of failed education in our family. In that moment, I realized that it was my turn now to lead the family. My parents had done all they could. It was my turn to be a role model for my brother and to set an example for our communities in Jacala and Bayshore High, showing them what can happen when you dream big. I hope to accomplish this by continuing to live by the values I learned as a child in Jacala: hard work, respect, humility, and pride. At last, I want to thank everyone from the Unidos Now staff and members as they've now become part of my family. I want to thank my parents for being there and always supporting me. And I want to thank my mentor, Hector Tejeda. Because of his excellent guidance and knowledge, I was able to push through and dream big. This fall, I'll be attending Wake Forest University with a full ride and plan on majoring in accounting. I want to thank the Baranski Foundation for making this program possible and supporting us students to dream big and change the world. Thank you.
Sorry, everyone, I'm walking a little slow. I had a foot problem last week. But when I think about the saying, it takes a village, I always think about Unidos Now because it really does take a village. It takes your family, it takes the people in your community, and it takes the work of this organization to accomplish these incredible things and to allow these students to dream big and reach high. The best person that I know who works to put together that community and knit together the work that goes into uplifting so many lives is Luz Corcuera, Executive Director of Unidos Now. I'm proud to introduce her. Thank you.
Buenas noches. Good evening, everyone. It's really wonderful to be able to get together. I've been with Unidos Now since 2016. This is my 7th decision day. And it's the very first time that we are doing it at this beautiful facility at the State College of Florida. So my gratitude to Kim and all her team for assembling this spectacular place. This morning I saw so many people working on putting the chairs together, the tables, and thank you. And also to reconnect with my dear friend, Charles Clapsaddle with Manatee Educational Television. Charles, you've been at every Unidos Now Decision Day, and you've been taping these wonderful statements. So thank you for being with us this evening. Oscar always does a wonderful job. And he is not only a role model, but an inspiration to so many. Decision Day is one of the most important events of the year, where we all renew our hope for a brighter future and affirm our commitment to continue our impactful work of empowering our leaders of tomorrow. We have so much to celebrate. Our remarkable scholars, they just share their stories filled with dreams, aspirations, and hard work that are being realized with the love and support of their families and the love of a caring community that believes in them. Congratulations, scholars, on earning over $5 million in scholarships and grants and the opportunity to attend amazing college. Let's give it up for them. We are very fortunate to partner with our local colleges, the school districts of Sarasota and Manatee, the local foundations, the generous and dedicated mentors, friends, and donors who believe in our mission work and in building a better future for our young people. Their support and partnership has been instrumental all these years. My gratitude to our visionary board of directors. I see Kathy Shersten here in the audience. She's one of our board members and a mentor. Kelly Kirchner, our chairman and co-founder of Unidos Now. Thank you for your leadership and your dedication. My dream team, they are just incredible. They have a passion and commitment to improve the lives of so many. I want to thank especially all of them because they have worked really hard to make this event a reality. So, Dream Team, thank you. And I want you to recognize them by giving them an applause. Padres, amigos, familiares y todos los que nos apoyan y apoyan a estos jóvenes. Muchas gracias por ayudarlos a realizar sus sueños y por creer en ellos y en el futuro que están construyendo y las puertas que están abriendo para las futuras generaciones. The Future Leaders Academy program is offered thanks to the generous support of the Charles and Marjorie Baranski Foundation. They are our source of guidance and encouragement. Over the years, my friend John Annis has become one of the most respected friends of Unidos Now, opening doors for our students and their families. John is a community leader and someone who affirms day after day that the United States is a welcoming and inclusive place that values the contributions of the fastest growing Latinx community. The Charles and Marjorie Baranski Foundation is behind some of the most important and impactful projects in our region. Their exemplary and inspiring leadership is widely recognized and applauded. We are so fortunate to partner with them and are grateful for their continued support. John, we thank you for embracing Unidos Now and the incredible scholars that we've heard this evening. Thank you for helping them realize their dreams and for opening a path of opportunities for generations to come. So now it's my honor to introduce my friend John Annis, Senior Vice President of Collaboration and Impact of the Charles and Marjorie Baranski Foundation. Please join me in welcoming John.
Thank you, Luz, and thank you all. First, does anybody know what the Charles and Marjorie Baranski Foundation is? Because everyone thanked the Charles and Marjorie Baranski Foundation, and I would hope you would go ahead and look at the foundation, who they are. It's actually that money. The reason we can do our work is because of two people, Charles and Marjorie Baranski. So look up that website, see that picture of their beautiful faces. Chuck and Margie are amazing people. I've been fortunate to get to work for them now for 5 years. They were killed in a car accident in 2019, in December of 2019. They have, by the end of this year, their fortune will have put $100 million back into this community. So they were very successful in business, could have done a lot of things with that money, and what they decided to do was it invested into people like you. As I was listening to your stories, I thought that both Chuck and Margie would have felt like it was a great investment by hearing one of your stories. But hearing all of those stories, I know how proud they would be of each of you and the work that the Unidos Now team has done with you. I think this is our 6th or 7th year we've been sponsoring this program, but the work continues. And I think Chuck's success in building his businesses, where he made his money, was because he hired really good people and let them do really good work. And I think Luz and the board has done that here at Unidos Now. They're amazing people doing good work, and I don't think we can thank them enough for what they put into you and our investment, how much it has paid off. Really, at every class, as I look back at some of the previous graduates and listen and remember some of those stories, how proud I am of the work that you have done with that team and how excited I am about the future. I think Dr. Woodson is still here, who's become a really good friend. And we frequently, after watching the news, get frustrated and concerned and worried about the future of this country. And I'm feeling more excited and what's possible because of listening to your stories and knowing what the potential holds. Maybe I'll watch the news tonight and change my mind, but right now, you have me feeling really good about what's possible in this country and the things that we can do together. And I think that together part is really important. We have to pay attention. We have to work together. We have to vote. We have to study what candidates' positions are, what they care about, and who the people are that are supporting them. And they need to hear from us, right? We can't hesitate to reach out to them and let them know how we feel as a group, right? Let them know, as someone who's worked in the foundation world for a while now, I think it's my 11th year, many donors that are funding things, sometimes it would surprise me, not at the Baranski Foundation, because all that money came from Chuck and Margie. We don't raise money. We're not trying to raise money. It's their money. We spend their money. At many of the other foundations, if they're not private foundations, it's donors who have put a bunch of money together to invest it in the community. And I would frequently be surprised when a donor would invest money in a program that wanted to see certain results and then would support candidates who were doing things that were absolutely opposed to what they were trying to support. and we'd have these interesting conversations about how we're going to make progress in this country. And I think you, again, this group is an example of progress we are going to make and will make, and how we can accelerate that progress if we work together and keep doing good things like Unidos Now is doing. So Luz has been a friend for a long time. I love the work that she does. I hope we can put the other foundation screen back up there. This isn't the Baranski Foundation that is doing this. This is the entire community. Many of these partners and many individual donors that make this all possible. I think back at some of the work that's being done in our elementary schools. I know we're celebrating this program tonight, and the product some of you have been started much earlier, but when I watch those elementary school students and their parents participating in these programs, that even makes me more excited about the future. So thank you all again. It's been a pleasure to hear your stories, and I look forward to hearing more stories like Oscar's when we're hearing the graduation stories that are coming soon. Thank you again.
Thank you for those words, John. I work in politics, and I think oftentimes it's very easy to listen to the spin masters and hear about our divisions and all the problems that we have, but to feel hope for, the future of the country and what we can all do together, you don't have to look any further than this room right here. It's super exciting, and I'm now proud to introduce my friend, the co-founder of Unidos Now, a man who dreamed up this incredible team more than 10 years ago, and the chairman of our board, Kelly Kirshner. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you very much, Oscar. I'm going to be like Luz as well and maybe share a few words in Spanish first for our parents that might not speak English, or their English is not where they would necessarily like it to be. But los padres de familia, antes de todo, si no fuera por ustedes, ninguno de estos jóvenes obviamente estarán aquí presentes con nosotros el día de hoy. Muchos de ustedes que son inmigrantes, que han tomado sacrificios, que arriesgaron sus vidas, que dejaron su familia allá, es lo fundamental. Ustedes fueron los ejemplos para ellos, y si no fuera por ustedes, nadie de nosotros estamos aquí el día de hoy. Y como dijo el compañero, el patrón Juan, que acabo de hablar, el futuro es más brillante gracias a ustedes y los esfuerzos. Entonces, voy a pedir a sus hijos que se ponen de pie y da un fuerte aplauso para sus padres, por favor. Thank you very much. For our friends that haven't learned Spanish, Oscar and I will be giving lessons. It'll be a fundraiser, $500 an hour. But we briefly just said that, what our patron saint, our patron Juanito Anis just said about the future being so brilliant. It wouldn't be so brilliant if it weren't for the sacrifice of these parents who risked a lot and perhaps were the first examples for their children and doing the types of things and the sacrifices that we heard in so many stories. And I think that the celebration today is not only for these really incredible young people, but it's also for the entire family, and particularly for these parents. So thank you all. As Oscar said, Unidos Now is now 12 years old. Our baby is growing up too. Ya próximamente vamos a celebrar nuestra quinceañera. We will, and it's hard to believe. And as Luz said, I think this is her 7th occasion for Decision Day, and so I've been here from the beginning. And I think it's really amazing every year to see the talent that keeps coming through and the grit of our students and our families. I think the other request that I'm going to make, and I make every year of our students, is please don't forget Unidos Now. Please don't forget the investment that this organization has made in you, that it's not just the Chuck and Margie Baranski's, but when you are a cardiothoracic surgeon, when you're an amazing accountant, when hopefully you'll be a finquero with, I'm not sure how many heads of cattle. Where is she? Ahí está. That you remember Unidos Now, because we need you to retroalimentar, to invest in this, to expand the scope of this. I hope in a few years we're already outgrowing this beautiful space. We should be in the Neal Auditorium in a few years next door to really accommodate all of the families and students. But we're not going to get there unless we have your support, which brings me to the next topic, which is a fun one. Todos de la raza, por favor, levantar la mano. La raza mexicana, por favor. Y los niños que... So, we're having not one, but actually 3 concerts starting next week that are celebrating. It's delayed because of COVID. Unidos Now's 10th anniversary, but now 12 years. Los conciertos are fusing really a metaphor for our work. One of the most famous mariachi bands of North America with the 72-piece Venice Symphony. And so we want that room to look as beautiful and diverse as this room and as Sarasota. And so we need all of you there. I think one of the gifts that, thanks to many of our funders, is that all of you and all of the families and students will have free tickets to come to that concert. And so, yeah. When you get your food, you'll see these tarjetas ahí atrás. Están en inglés y castellano. Por favor, agarren la cantidad que quieran. But we need you, the Soñar la Matraca, padres de familia, the children. We need you, social media. You guys are much better at Instagram, Facebook than all of us, gringos viejos. And you need to tell your friends about how amazing this is, because it's going to be our biggest fundraiser ever in the history of Unidos Now. And we are trying to raise, in a period of 2 nights, over $300,000 that's going to go right back into this. And a lot of times we have en la comunidad hispana una desconfianza en las organizaciones sin fines de lucro. ¿Para qué voy a hacer esto? Esa gente está robando dinero. Y esa gente que... Nosotros llevamos 12 años invirtiendo en la juventud acá. Y sin el apoyo de las fundaciones de los gringos no estaremos acá. Pero ahora ya es tiempo que nosotros, miembros de la comunidad hispana, las familias, empiezan a asegurar que la comunidad respeta, conozca el trabajo y que podemos parandear y gozar de la música también. Así que, por favor, les voy a rogar que haga la publicidad, por favor, que pasen los folletos y que llevan a los vecindarios, a todos los vecinos a festejar con nosotros. So I'm the last thing between us and the food. Maybe some final pieces. We also have another board member that came in late, Karen Arango, the best photographer in Sarasota. Thank you, Karen. And then, I'm not sure, it's actually one of our mothers of a student, Chef Amalia. Are you here with us tonight? No, but Chef Amalia has provided the food that's going to be amazing food. Again, many thanks to all of our sponsors, Charles Clapsaddle, METV, that reproduces this so our audience can be even bigger, to appreciate all of you and what you're doing in that bright future. Juanito, don't watch the news tonight. Let's sit with this and let's let that marinate, because we need this in these times. And so thank you all very much. Enjoy the food. We're going to see you next Friday night in the Van Wezel. Tell your friends. Have a great evening. Thank you.